are live.
Welcome to another episode of Black Ice Reality Check. I'm your host, Black Ice. I have a special guest in town. We've tried to connect multiple times. He's been busy, very successful, multi-millionaire from Los Angeles, California. Toutouni is in the house.
Hi, how you doing?
Good, man. How are you,
Good.
man? Thanks for joining, man.
Absolutely.
I got a lot of questions because you see this guy all over social media. He's like the man, right? Tony's the guy that every guy wants to be and every girl wants to be with him. And so we're trying to figure out the secret formula.
I don't know about that. Not every girl wants to be with me. Actually, a lot of girls are scared of me. So
why are they scared of you?
I mean, they're girls these days. I think they kind of changed what they're looking for, and they're not into the bad boys anymore.
You don't think so?
I don't think so. I think they're kind of like, swaying towards the nerdy guys. The revenge of the nerds are coming into the
this is a good question because and I'm not going to say her name, but we have a beautiful gal sitting here that's obviously dated high value guys. But when women say they want a nice guy, they end up I find they end up going for the high value guys that all the other girls want to be with, right? And in the top, so 10% of men are actually sexually active out of 100. So all these women are going after the top 10% of men. And so when you say the nerdy guy, what does that mean? Like, are you talking Jeff Bezos? Well, Jeff Bezos has $1 billion. So his hot Latina new wife, he didn't get by. Look, he's got a lot of money, right? He's a nerd. But I feel that when you say that, you're a high value guy. You've obviously successful in business. You've got a lot of status. You got swag.
I get it, but I also have a social media, and they're kind of scared, to be associated to my.
But you got all these girls on social media with you.
That's why I haven't been on social media that much lately, because it helps me get girls a lot better when I'm off social media.
Okay.
When I'm on social media, they're kind of afraid. Girls tend to want to do things fun and crazy secretly. And when you expose that about them, they're not really happy.
So I have a question. So how old are you, if you don't mind me asking?
Oh, that I won't add.
Okay. Well, see, I asked him. I exposed myself. She said I'm fucking old. Somebody did. Sean's like, he's not a threat. He's old. Get the Geritol, right? Okay. So have you ever been married? Can I ask you that?
I've been married.
Would you ever get married again? Is there any value in that? Is this zero net gain? Do you feel in this type of Western culture in modern day society, is it too much of a financial risk, or would you do a marriage without the state? Like, just say you do the ceremony.
I don't think, having a marriage is really meaningful for me, at least, because if you like someone, you're with them, and I don't need a piece of paper or a document to certify who that person is to me. So if I like someone, I'm with them, and I'm not getting married for any reason anytime soon. That's
okay. Okay. But and now you date multiple gals. You have multiple relationships, right? Do they know this?
I'm very honest. I don't lie.
Why do you think that? Why do you think most men can tell a girl that they want to date multiple women, and the girls say no, and you can tell a woman that, and they're fine with it? Why do you think that is?
It's because you have to give them the understanding of who you are at the very beginning of the relationship. You can't date someone, bullshit them, tell them you love them and you want to be with them and you're a good guy, you will never cheat and so forth. And then 6 months down the line, change that attitude and say, well, I want to see other girls. Or
so you tell them up front you're going to see other girls.
I'm very honest right up front with what I want and what I expect.
Do you think the average guy can do that, or just a high value man?
I mean, what is an average man?
Okay. Since we have a guest here, if a guy how much money? I don't want to detour this, but how much money does a guy have to make for you to be in a relationship with, or to marry? If you were going to marry,
me personally,
yeah.
above average, obviously, if you're in love with the person.
Right, but you wouldn't date a guy that made $40,000 a year.
Can one survive over 40,000 a year?
They can't. That's average income. One person, right? So obviously, my point is like, if you're with a woman and you're in a relationship, you're living with them. My title for me is I'm the provider protector. I'm going to provide for the family, right? So I'm not expecting her to put
I'll
money
answer
in.
you
Yeah,
in a
yeah.
very simple way. I think if you're making $40,000 a year, you shouldn't be dating. You should be focusing on your job and working on that and strictly on that. And if you're out there trying to involve another person into your life at $40,000 a year, you're doing yourself and the other person a fucking injustice. So for me, I think if you're making $40,000 a year, you need to be focusing on building your life first before you start involving other people in your life.
Right.
Or you go together.
Or you find someone that believes in your goals, your values, you as a person, and build a life together. So
Where now? Where did you start out? Like, were you from California originally, or
I'm from LA, yeah, my whole life.
born and raised?
No, I grew up in Kansas City until I was like 5 or 6 years old.
Wow. Okay.
Moved to LA. My mom went to Kansas University. She received her PhD as a doctor in psychology.
Wow.
And
So she's on the Jordan Peterson level type situation.
she's actually very, very educated. However, she chose the real estate path. So she's focused on that. She's
So-
not practicing.
I have to ask because I don't know this, and maybe you can't talk about it. What do you do for a living? How did you make your wealth?
Well, that's the one thing that I think almost no one knows, because I am so versatile with so many different things I've done in my life. It has never been just one thing. I've gone through so many different
Okay.
phases of different things. And that's something we were talking about the other day, is because when I do get involved with people, they tend to find out that I understand a bits of just about every business they talk about. And that's because I've just done so many different things. I've started out, my first business that was successful was selling hair products. So I
Okay.
made my own hair product line, and then I did a infomercial on television when I was like 17 years old,
Okay.
and sold hair products on TV.
So like what Vidal Sassoon type hair products, right?
No, I sold. Well, back then there was Rogaine and Minoxidil, and I was their competitor. So
Oh, really?
I sold products to grow hair.
And it was on infomercials on
It
television.
was on infomercials on television, and then I stopped that in 1991 when I had the FDA come knocking on my door saying that we are basically saying that we can grow their hair, and that's not correct.
Oh, okay. So
Because legally you cannot say that.
okay. So so being a millionaire, they say the average millionaire has 7 different revenue streams.
Right.
Right. I've done it with less, but when you say you've changed different industries, were you
Constantly.
parlaying up, or were you doing multiple things at the same time? I find myself, I can only focus on maybe one, maybe 2 things at a time. Because if I start doing too many, one starts suffering. How do you operate in that capacity?
I always focus on one thing
Uh-huh.
at a time. But then once I make it successful, I always try to make it where it runs by itself, and then go
Automated,
on,
yeah.
automate it, and go to the next.
And you have somebody run it for you, or you work with
I
them?
always, the key to my success has always been able to find someone I could really trust, have them around me.
Okay.
It's very important to have someone like that. And every time I've been unsuccessful in the business is because I found someone that
burned you.
that burned me. It was
So-
the opposite.
So have you failed a lot without other people being involved? I tell people sometimes you got to fail forward to be successful. Have you failed in
think
a lot of?
failure is the part of success.
Okay.
Yes. If you're not failing, you're not trying enough.
And so how many? And I'm just shooting in the dark here. You've probably done more than 10 different businesses, I'm assuming.
Way more than that, but yeah.
So out of 10 businesses, let's say starting from 1 to 10, out of those 10 businesses in a row, how many of those did you fail in, and how many did you? Is it like 20% you succeeded? Or?
Failing maybe at least 70% of them.
Okay. Have you been in the restaurant business?
Absolutely.
That's got a high failure rate.
Very high.
Did you succeed?
After probably about 6 or 7 tries.
Really? Oh shit. Well, I'll say this: if you
I
can,
just never gave up.
if you can succeed in the restaurant business,
It's
that's like
extremely
you made it, because that's a tough business, right?
Yeah,
What-
15 to 25%,
Oh,
Yeah.
imagine the people that had restaurants during COVID, or the best one is F1. You hear what they did to the restaurants with F1?
No.
Oh, so I was talking to one of the guys that does the marketing for the restaurants at the bar. I drink my Red Bull shaken, not stirred. I don't drink anymore. But just by choice. I wasn't like a raving alcoholic or anything, but I'm like Magic Mike. I'll jump on the table, start taking my clothes off, and like, okay, you can't drink no more. But he's telling me that these restaurants got to pay like $1.2 million, and then they have to charge $1,300 a head if they're going to have a view of F1 on the strip. And so if they don't, they're going to build a grandstand in front of the restaurant. And I said to the guy, I said, well, you know, Vegas before COVID, before they tried masking everybody, and they had the old Sisolak governor before they kicked him out, it was busy. I feel like Vegas never came back. And you come here, you were coming here before I moved here. I moved here in November 2020. I didn't come here that much, probably as much as you have. Do you feel like Vegas right now is not as busy as it used to be?
100%.
And do you feel like if you had a restaurant, did you have a restaurant during COVID?
No, I stopped restaurant business in 2017 was my last. 16.
So you know a lot of friends that went under in Los Angeles.
Of course, but they also made a lot of money with government fundings as well.
Oh, really? Okay.
Yes.
And so what's been one of your most successful ventures in business that you've had?
I did very well in my nightclub business, extremely well. I did very well with my hair products. I worked as a reinsurance intermediary. I did mergers and acquisitions. I did it very well with that.
That's good. That's where the money's at.
Yeah.
I don't understand that part. I mean, I know what it is, but that's so above my pay grade when I have friends that do that. You know,
bought and sold risks and reserves from insurance companies. So I did very well with that. I sold multi-million-dollar companies in my early 20s. It's actually a funny story how I started doing that, but yeah.
Tell me, I want to hear it.
I was very successful in my hair business, you know, at that time. I started my first nightclub, had a lot of girls. I met this one girl. She happened to be a stripper.
We've all met the one stripper.
It was her first.
Sean, I won't say his name. He's smiling. I'm scared to say his name. It could work and choke me. We've all met that one.
Yeah, so yeah, and I was dating her. I started dating her. It was her first night at working. I was really young. I was in my early 20s, and I was at her house. She had quit stripping. She only worked one night. I was at her house. The phone rang. I picked up the phone. Sorry, she picked up the phone and she said, "Oh my God, I can't believe this is one of my customers from the first night I worked. He's on the phone asking me for dinner." And she goes, "You handle this." So she hands me the phone. I said, "Hello." And he starts saying, "Hey, listen, I'm sorry. I didn't know she had a boyfriend. She's really nice." And I said, "Well, how'd you get her phone number?" And he said, "Well, one of the girls at the club, I went last night and I tipped her and she gave me her phone number." And I said, "Well, what do you want?" And he goes, "Is there any way I could send a limo for you two and we can all go to dinner?"
Wow.
So, and I said to her, "Hey, he wants to go to dinner with us. And she goes, "Hang up the phone, this fucking weirdo." And I said, "He's fucking sending a limo."
Right. You're trying to like, Tony's like, "Hey, I wanted to go to dinner with your girl, but I didn't know she had a boyfriend. I'm going to send the plane." And she's like, "He's weird. He's got a plane."
Yeah, of course.
I'm not going to say no.
I said,
he can just rent you for a little bit.
So I said, fucking back then, the limos were a big deal.
Yeah.
So,
I know it's relating it to now would be like if you said you're sending a plane.
a Bugatti.
A Bugatti, right? A
Like,
Bouchon. I'm
I
like,
was like, all right. So I said, "Wait, hold on. Let me see just relax a little bit." So I said, "So you're sending a limo?" And he goes, "Absolutely." And I said, "How long?" He said, 45 minutes. And I said, "Okay, I'll be ready." And he goes, "What about her?" I said, "Do you want to come?" She goes, "Well, if you're going, I'm going to go with you." I said, "Okay, well, let's go." So we all went. We went to dinner that night. And he was this really, really big guy. And he's
not big like that, but big like this.
He was a big fat
Not
guy.
big like this dude.
He
Right?
probably watched this show and laugh over it. But anyways, we went to dinner, and during dinner he said, "Well, I want to ask you something." I said, "What?" And he said, "How do you get such a beautiful girl?"
Okay, here we go.
And I said, "It's easy. I mean,
But you had game.
yeah, I had game."
So-
I said, "I know how to talk."
Okay, so most men don't.
I see that. Yeah.
I mean,
I know.
you have game, right? Game, frame, money and success, right?
Yeah. Well, that and the combination of all of them becomes very deadly.
Exactly.
So yes, but you have to have game, because I know a lot of wealthy men, they don't get girls. I mean, they get maybe high class hookers, but they don't get girls.
You know what's interesting about that? Back when I was younger, and again, I'm not going to ask him his age. He's like 30, but back in the day, when you had money, you could get that. Now you have to have the status. Now I see. You know what I mean? Like it's because 12% of men in America make 100K or more. It's not that much, but everybody sees this Instagram. They see, that it's all this gold doesn't glitter. And when you go to the hot pockets like Miami, LA, Vegas, you think all these guys got all this money. So girls have been desensitized to this through social media, dating apps, all this stuff, Kardashians, all this stuff on TV. And so now you can have all this, and girls are still like, oh, but if you're like, oh, it's Tony, right? You know what I mean? If you have the status, and so when I tell girls, it's like, oh yeah, I wouldn't date a guy if he has a girlfriend. I said, well, you date Drake. Well, that's Drake though. You know what I mean? And so it's changed, because when I was younger, you could have the hot car and not being well known. Now I feel that, and I'm not saying that's the girl you want to end up with, but who are you?
They want status.
You're not top G Andrew Tate with a Bugatti. You're not that guy, right? You're not Tony, right? Or whoever. And so now it's like, and it's funny with me. I'll be out, like she'll stay home. Sometimes I'll be playing poker, and I go to the casino bars where there's no locals, because I want to kind of lay low. That's where I saw Tony walking in, and through the palazzo. Hey, Tony's good to see you. Just walks by, right? And I was hanging out there. And the working girls will talk to you or whatever, just the girls. Yeah, what do you do? I said, oh yeah, I got a business, and then I do podcasts, play poker. Oh, what's your and oh, that's you? And they just have a different attitude. And I'm not trying to flex on them. They just go, let me see it. As soon as and I'm not that famous. I'm not famous, right? I'm coming up in the industry, but now I'm somebody to them. And it's amazing, because you brought up that point, right?
Mm-hmm.
But back then, I don't know how long ago that was, when you were 12,
Maybe
dating a stripper, right? So continue the story. I just wanted to bring that up.
So anyways, we ended up going out, and I said, okay, how about this? I'll make you a deal. I said, what do you do? And he said, I do mergers and acquisitions. And I said, well, how did you get there? He goes, I studied finance. I said, and then what? He goes, well, then I got my Series 6 and Series 7 license. And, now I do mergers and acquisitions. I said, what do you buy and sell? He goes, companies. And I said, how big? He goes, anywhere starting minimum 10 million up to like a couple $100 million. And I said, you know what? That sounds really interesting, actually. So how about this? I'll teach you how to get girls. You teach me how to do what you do. And he starts laughing. He goes, what are you talking about? I had to go to school, blah, blah, blah. I said, okay, listen, I think I'm a pretty intelligent guy. Let me come to your work. I come every day. I listen to what you do. I'll determine if I could do what you do or not. If I could be helpful, just use me. I'll get your coffee. I'll do whatever. He goes, you have money. You're successful. I said, well, it doesn't matter. I still want to learn what you do.
Wow. You were 13 at this point, right?
I was early 20s.
Okay.
And I ended up going there every morning at 5 a.m.
Wow. That's determination, right there.
Worked for free for 4.5 months. And at the end of 6 months, I made my first 600 grand. I made 600 grand after 2 months with him. Ended up owning his business after 10 years. So he ended up working for me, actually.
Oh my gosh. And you're good friends with this guy still?
We're friends. We're still good friends. His name is Arthur, if he's watching. But we worked together for a few years. And then I couldn't sit at the desk all day, work. I just hated it. I wanted to go out there and just be free and just do fun things.
Sure.
And so one day I got up and said, I'm done. I'm going to a new venture. And
I'm assuming you had FU money at that point.
At that point, I had a lot of money.
So you could take
I completed risk. Probably over 40 mergers and acquisitions.
Oh, wow.
By that time, yeah.
Wow. So you're in the upper echelon of the 1%ers. You got a Richard Millionaire. So you're doing good.
Yeah, I did very well. I did very, very well with Art. I made a lot of money with him. Started my own place. We had a non-compete agreement. I had to pay him out to be able to work on my own.
I mean, that's the stuff you see on TV, right? You know, on Billions, you know, Axe Capital. You know, if you're watching that show, Billions, and the guys doing all the mergers and acquisitions, it's so beyond my capacity to understand that.
Yeah.
But you jumped into it.
It wasn't actually, you know what? It wasn't hard to learn. It was, you know, everybody thinks like a surgeon his job is so hard, or this guy's engineer's job is so hard. Once you get into it, and I mean,
but did you use his
a lot of school,
but you used his money to leverage the mergers.
Zero of his money from the beginning.
Oh, it's just yours.
We were intermediaries. He was an intermediary himself, so he never used his own money. It's just a matter of introducing A to B. So we worked as reinsurance intermediaries. We bought and sold insurance companies and transferred their assets and reserves from one company to the other. That's all we did.
So what's the new venture now? What's the next step?
I mean, every day is a new venture. I don't.
You're like living in Disneyland for adults. Like you just, you wake up, you're like, hey, I want to go to Monaco. You just go?
I just go.
Really?
Yeah.
That's amazing.
I woke up and said, I'm going to Vegas.
Thursday. Well, you messaged me on Wednesday. I think you said you were coming here Thursday.
Yeah, and I came.
Wow, that's crazy. Now you have 2 jets or 1?
I used to have 2 before. I have 1 which I'm selling. I have no use for it because I just feel that the cost of having 1 is just it for me. It doesn't justify. You know, you could rent it for the same price, so why have your own?
Okay.
And I barely use it lately. So
yeah, because who was it? Warren Buffett said the same thing.
I think so. Yeah.
Yeah, because I know Venetian had like 20 at one time.
Floats or fucks you rent.
But doesn't like if you wanted to go gamble at one of the casinos, don't they send you a jet to come pick you up?
Yeah, they do.
Are you a big gambler?
I am. I've gambled.
What's your game of choice?
I mean, obviously to win, it's always poker, but to play blackjack, baccarat.
Have you ever played with Dana White?
No, I've never played with him.
Okay, so I have a friend that's friends with him. They go out and play poker, right? So he's playing 75 grand a hand. And to me, I'm thinking, oh my God, this guy,
what
right?
does he play?
He plays blackjack.
Oh, blackjack, so not poker.
No, he plays blackjack. So he sat down and he played 75 grand down, won, took a break, came back. He did it 4 times. I'm going, if I put 100 down, I'd lose. I don't know. I don't get it. But he always hit on 16. Is that taking the risk? Is that what you do?
I mean, no, me, you know, I like the insurance thing. So
yeah, he's like, I just play.
I surrender when I.
Do you play craps?
No, not.
So our friend McGill with Dollar Cost Crypto that was on Fresh and Fit, he's out all the time playing craps. I don't get it.
I don't either. Craps, roulette, those things I'm not.
So it's just blackjack.
Blackjack.
Do you bet sports?
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, not well. Let's reverse that. I'm part involved with a sports site, but I don't.
Oh, okay. So that's another venture.
Yeah.
A sports betting site. Okay. And we're not promoting. I get it.
I don't promote it.
No, I get it. Don't say it. Because then they'll say, you made me say it. No, I didn't. No. So you're in so you're not doing hair no more. Hair products.
Not doing hair no more.
You're not doing mergers and acquisitions.
Not doing mergers.
But if a friend had a company and he came to you and said, hey, Tony, I'm looking at buying this, you'd help him out.
I'll help him out.
That's awesome, man.
Yeah.
That's great.
100%.
So real estate.
I did a lot of real estate until 2018. Exited majority of my real estate in 2018.
Okay. So what's your main revenue then right now, if you don't mind me asking?
Retirement money.
So it's off of like the market. You have it all invested in the.
I have a lot of crypto. I have a lot of savings.
Okay, I gotta get you on Dollar Cost Crypto. Those guys, they're the crypto kings of Vegas. How long are you gonna be here for?
In Vegas till tomorrow.
Oh, till tomorrow. Yeah. When are you gonna be back?
I have no idea.
But if we come to LA, we can go on your podcast.
Yeah, absolutely. I have a
Okay,
studio,
we're gonna bring
full
the
studio.
bus, bring all the kids. No, I'm just kidding.
Yeah,
Where's your
bring it.
studio at in Los Angeles?
I have one in West Hollywood and I have one in Orange County. So
Okay, and you live in both places.
both. I'm travel back and forth.
Okay. Okay, so let's go back to relationships and dating. What's one thing you look for in a girl? So I guess there's two sides. I can hear those cars, right? There's a car show across the street, by the way. You can date for purpose for relationships, or you date for casual relationships, right?
Mhm.
So you're not looking for a serious relationship at this point in your life. I'm gathering.
What is serious?
Living together.
I've lived with a girl.
You have, but not now.
Not currently.
So when you're looking for that girl to be
I
in
lived with 7 girls.
At the same time.
Same time.
Okay.
Dated I'm actually maybe 8. Yeah.
You lived with 8 girls at the same time?
Yeah.
And they were all your girlfriends.
I mean, no, they were not all my girlfriends. I was.
Just depends on the time of day.
I'll clarify that. I was all of their boyfriends.
Okay, I'm tapping out. Okay, my question is, if you're dating, what do you look for in a woman when you want to date her? What's the primary thing you look for first? Is it looks?
Look,
Okay, and then is it?
and then everything else is all sexual. I don't care about nothing else.
You don't care about anything else.
No, I don't care if they're poor, if they're nothing else.
So that's see what I'm saying. So when
If I sit with a girl and we're talking about their parents and all that stuff, I'm just straight lying to them because I have zero interest in anything they have to say.
okay,
Absolutely nothing.
So-
My only interest is you look good and sexually if we're compatible.
that's
Because
it.
not all girls. I've met some of the hottest girls in the world and I have not been sexually compatible with them. It's a chemistry thing.
Okay,
I have to see if the chemistry's there sexually. And that's all I care for. I don't care about nothing else.
do you think
Everything else I can fix.
how?
Give me a problem.
Do you think if you didn't have the money, you couldn't do this, or you still do it?
I lived my early days without money.
And you were
So-
you were doing the same thing.
And not only that, I mean, I know we're covering a lot of my success, but I've had a lot of failures.
Mhm.
So I've been up and down my life, maybe at least a handful of times. So I've had where I've lost everything. I would say when I was 23 years old, I gambled my whole life savings away.
Really?
Yes. And then, I lived where I didn't have money to buy a taco and, would grab my change and try to put it together.
Gas
to
money.
eat. Well, no, actually, I used to go out with this girl. I'll never forget her name. Her name was Sandy Perwine. And we were at Jack in the Box and I had ordered a hamburger for me and a hamburger for her. And it was $12, I think, at that time. And I didn't have any money. I had nothing. So I said, you pay for it. And she goes, I'm not paying for this. Are you kidding me? What'd you do with all your money? And I said, I gambled all the way. And
Oh
she
my
goes,
gosh.
She goes, I'm not paying for this. And I said, okay, well then we're not eating. Let's go. And I ended up breaking up with her right away.
How did you hit bottom in 2001 or 08?
I hit I think it was 2001. No.
Because I felt
2001,
yeah.
No.
Yeah, 2001 was bad and 8 was bad for me.
No, I hit bottom one time in 94.
94. I was still in the military. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
And then I made it back. I mean,
And now you're set. You're not gonna.
now I'm like on cruise control. So
Is there anything that you haven't done that you want to do?
No.
Like, do you want to go to the moon?
No.
No. You've done everything you want to do. Your bucket list has been checked off.
Yeah, like years ago.
That's crazy. I mean, that's awesome, right? Because there's so
Yeah.
many things I want to do.
What do you want to do?
I want to drive a Bugatti.
I mean, that's
No, I mean, but you know what I mean. Like, there's things I want to go to Dubai. I haven't been there yet. Monaco. There's certain things that are very feasible and obtainable. But
you haven't done any of this?
no, man, I've been
Oh, you're
grinding.
bucket listed.
Well, yeah,
Wow.
yeah. See, now he's making me feel small.
Let's talk about good stuff.
It's just cold out.
Have you slept with 3 girls at one time? You have to think that's a no.
No, I've slept with 2.
I mean, everybody. I
Yeah,
think
yeah,
has done
yeah. I
two.
haven't slept with 3 girls at one time.
All right.
What
that should
else?
be on your bucket list. It's actually fun.
It's actually fun. Well, I heard somebody tell me, they said when you have a threesome, it's not as fun because somebody's left out sometimes. So it's better if you have 3 girls with 1 guy.
They're only left out if you're not able to compensate. Like if you're a guy that doesn't have the energy or you can't last long,
Right.
of course one's going to be left out. But if you're able to, I mean, left out how?
I don't know what's I've been told. I'm like, hey, I've been in situations where I had threesomes, and
Who are you getting your information from?
you know who said that?
Who?
Dan Blazarian.
Dan? I mean,
No comment.
he's my buddy. You know, I love Dan. He's a great guy.
He said that. He said, yeah, it's no fun. You know, someone's kind of always left out. So it's good if you have, 3 girls or more,
3 girls or more.
Yeah, he said
2 is low, 3 is better.
Yeah, that's what he said.
Understandable because the 2 girls could possibly entertain themselves while you're with one, and then you could switch to the other one. I mean, of course.
So what's the most girls you've been with at one time?
9.
9.
Oh
my God.
I have pictures of it.
I believe you. You sent me some videos, not of that, but you had them in the hotel, girls that were having a good time.
Yeah.
I'm like, this guy.
I've done a lot of fun stuff.
That's great. That's great. So yeah, I mean, there's a lot of things. I mean, I think men, I talk about this. I tell men, if you're this is my belief, don't get married till you're 40. Go experience life, make your money, have a lot of fun with women, get it out of your system to a point. Because when you do get married, you're going to be restricted as to the abilities of things you want to do, unless you have a wife that's understanding to an open relationship.
Well, I like to know why would somebody get married to begin with?
I think the reason people get married is because
I know why I got married.
Why'd you get married?
Because I was stupid and I didn't understand what marriage was all about. I didn't understand, I was trying to please her.
Because I think they do it.
I didn't want to lose her. I wanted to, I was trying to be selfish. I think like I wanted, there was maybe an insecurity.
Do you think more women want to be married than men?
Well, I think, yeah, because they need security. Well, there's more options for both sides now.
Right. Well, I think what happens is society, morality, and biblically, they say marriage is the right thing to do. And so people fell into that frame. But I'm seeing more and more guys nowadays like avoiding marriage at all costs because of the outcome, right? 51% of people get divorced. And it's like there's a zero net gain.
Is it really 51? I think it's more.
Well, I do too. I think that's
51 maybe in the world.
51%. I think it's US.
Third marriage time ends at 73%. So you take those 3 percentages and your average is 56.
I mean, you've been married 2 times. You get married again. You're kind of a fucked up person to begin with. You should know that it's not going to last with anybody. You should just give up anyways.
Yeah, and out of those marriages, 80% of the marriages, the women are filing.
Well, it's always women's fault. To me, I think when women are the ones that want out first, because men, we get used to something, we don't want to let it go. Like we're hoarders. You're like we buy a car.
How many cars do you have?
A lot of cars, man.
You don't even know. I bet you got cars parked places you forgot about.
I bet you're 100% right, because I found one like last week.
I was driving it.
Friend's car.
Where's my Ferrari at? That dude has it. That mixed brother that looks Persian or whatever he is. Mexican. Is he Mexican?
We were talking about that the other day, right? Remember I said, fuck, I have a car that my buddy called me. He's like, when are you coming to get your car? I was like, which car are you talking about? He's like, you left me here.
What a problem to have, right?
Yeah.
No,
but you can't fit them all in your house.
But the question is, what can a girlfriend give you that a wife can't?
Well, what's the difference between a wife and a girlfriend?
A contractual agreement.
It's like, what's the difference between complete and finished?
Right.
Do you know the difference?
The same thing.
No. If
Well, if it's completed and
if
finished.
you find a right woman, you're complete.
Oh, you're talking in
If
that
you find-
context. Okay.
If you find a wrong woman, you're finished.
Oh, okay. I thought you meant like,
And if you
finishing
get
a project.
married, eventually you're just finished completely. Completely
Yeah,
finished.
yeah.
So
and you've been married one time, you said?
I've been married.
Can I ask you that? I'm sorry. I didn't know.
Yeah. I've been married one time.
Okay.
Legally, yes.
Okay. I've been married twice.
I've been married once legally, and once under an alias.
Under an alias.
It's a long story.
This is like the spy. This is like the spy novel, Tony.
Unfortunately, got married under an alias with once.
Okay. So, okay.
She wanted to get married, and I married her.
But you used a different name.
Yeah.
So you didn't have any risk.
Yeah.
Wow. This guy, he's like James Bond. Is that your real name, Tony?
It really is. Yeah.
Wow.
So, I mean,
So what did you come to Vegas for this trip? Just have fun?
have fun.
Really?
Yeah. There's a boxing canal. We're going to go tonight.
Oh, yeah. I got it. Yeah.
Show.
Yeah. The boxing event. And then they got something else here. And I just saw a thing on Twitter, 18,000 people were going to the Venetian. I'm like, what happened? Kim Kardashian is going to be on the pole. I mean, what are we all going in there for?
Which pole? Is it what pole is it?
I don't know.
She likes a lot of poles,
Hey man, I was in LA.
She became famous on a pole. You know that?
Well, and then she was a closet designer for Paris Hilton, supposedly. She was hanging out with Paris, right? Back in the day.
I don't know what she does, but I know that she has lots of issues and lots of.
Would you date her?
Absolutely fucking not.
Why?
For 1,000 different reasons.
And this is interesting because I had a panel of girls on and they told me, I said some women with a lot of body counts or whatever. And I said, people like Kim Kardashian, you say, well, she's successful. And I said, in what? Yeah, she's beautiful. You wouldn't date her? I'm like, I absolutely wouldn't date her. I wouldn't date her. And people are like, you wouldn't? No. You wouldn't even sleep with her.
No.
Because you have options.
Lots.
That's my point. But an average guy would.
Why?
Because she's attractive to them. She's got money that they don't have. She's going to do things for them that they can't do. It's like when J-Lo married her dancer, the guy that was a dancer, right? We knew that wasn't going to work out. J-Lo's been with a lot of dudes too, right? So the question is, if a girl's been with a lot of guys, will you date them? Does body count matter to you for a relationship?
If she dates guys that I know,
you won't.
That no.
But if you're in a serious relationship,
known to have dated a lot of guys, no.
Why is that?
I mean, if you're gonna date a girl, you want someone for their innocence. It's like the sense of being with someone that's innocent, that someone's pure, someone's for you, not. For,
so this
not
is where this is where you
world.
Alpha widow the girl. You know what alpha widow means?
No.
That's where a girl goes with a high value guy, very high valued. I'm sorry, my eye's itching because of that dog. I apologize. You get with a high valued man as a woman, and she's going to experience things that she's never experienced with another man and do things that she hasn't done, whether it be, i.e., sexually or going places or on planes or in convertible Rolls or whatever. Once she's done in that relationship, she can never go backwards. And you alpha widowed her. And so when you say innocence, they're dating up, hypergamy. They're dating at their level and or above. You're above. And what happens is now the average guy is so unattractive to them. Because imagine if I dated somebody that Tony dated. First of all, if I knew they dated Tony, I wouldn't date him. Not to disrespect Tony, but we're not friends, but I know the guy. I'm like maybe a casual acquaintance from a way distance.
But if I had a girl that I was with that liked you, I'd be happy for her to be with you.
But I couldn't do it. First of all, let me tell you what.
The first one that says, go do it.
Yeah, but let me tell you why. Because I can't do the things he's done in a relationship. Now, we could have sex and I'd have fun because she's probably, if Tony had a girl, she's probably really, really attractive. I know this. So sex is one thing. A relationship, I'd be like, okay, let's go to Dubai tomorrow. It's like, fuck. You know what I mean? I can't compete.
But I also I don't allow girls to run my calendar or my life.
Facts, but you do go on more trips. You do more extravagant things. and you take
I
your
do
date.
fun things because I'm a fun person, you know, and I don't do it for them. I do it
You for
because
yourself.
I'm just doing it myself.
But
I
you do
just like to have fun myself.
But you do realize the majority of people can't do that.
But
Majority of people can't just get up and say, "Hey, let's go to Vegas."
I'll tell you something. And you have her. You can always ask her. She hangs out with me. You can hang out with me as a girl anywhere. It could be in a bedroom, like in a bathroom, but when we communicate, we're gonna have fun because I'm all about having fun, communicating, laughing, having a good time. Now, she has dated a lot of very successful men in her life. Are they as fun as they are when you hang out with me, or are they, I mean, how do you consider yourself
I have
with,
not really dated.
well, but you would say in general, like hanging out with me, what's it like? What would you describe? Is it fun? Is it boring? Is it like, what do you,
I'm a fun person.
yeah.
I enjoy life. I tend to be happy the majority of the time. So I choose to hang around people like me. So you are similar. Yeah.
Yeah,
Life is good. Life is fun.
sounds like a future. Life is good.
I mean, when you're around me, do you laugh normal or do you laugh more than you normally laugh with other people?
Comedian.
But you have more fun with Tony than 90% of the guys you've seen. Easy.
You mean like?
And just being with him, associating with him, hanging around him.
Yeah, he's a fun friend to hang around with.
Okay.
Yeah, I have some fun friends, but you're top.
You're top G.
Yeah. So, I mean, I just like to have fun. I'm just a fun guy. Look, I made a lot of money, like I said, in my early 20s, and I spent a lot of money on having fun. I never thought, oh, let me save for this reason or let me save for that. I just had a blast. I'm
So
a very
who
giving, very,
so when you're doing your thing, it's like whoever's with you is with you. If they're not, they're not.
like I consider my friends like me. Like,
Right.
like if I have money, it's not just mine. It's like everyone around me. If I'm eating, I want to treat everyone. If what you know,
That's awesome. That's the way it should be.
it's yeah. I have family members, very wealthy family members that I don't talk to because they're not giving, they're not generous, you know, they're not kind to others. And for me, I live my life based on being kind to people, having I enjoy friends around me. You know, if you are out there trying to buy something, I like to buy it, you know, for you, not because I can, but why not? I mean, you're my friend. I like to treat you as me.
No, I appreciate that. Yeah. I have a hard time for me because I'm a very giving guy.
Yeah.
So when people do stuff for me, I have a hard time receiving gifts or doing things. I don't like to do that because when I give, I don't expect anything back. I know you don't either, but I'm kind of like, they're like, oh man, I'll take care of it. No, pay. I say pay it forward. Help somebody else that may need it one day.
Yeah. And it goes like that with everything. I don't let people borrow money. I have a rule. I don't let people borrow money, but I don't mind giving you money.
You know,
It's a different story.
So real quick. So in 2021 of January, my business failed. I'm starting over. I had to start over. I went up. 2001 crashed. 08 crashed. 2008. This one's worse, right? I lost everything, almost everything. So I had to sell off all my assets. I kept the house because the interest rate, you know, I don't have my house paid off like he probably has. But then it's like, okay, what do I got to do? What do I got to do? So I burned through my capital to survive. And he knows, you know, when you're coming up or you're making money, your overhead's pretty high. And so you're like, okay, I had to create another business. I'm not going to promote it. But my point is that I told these guys on the team and people I work with, I said, listen, I'll be back. I've always rose up. I've never been to this level, but I said, I'll be at that. I said, I'll be at the next level again. And when I do, you're all coming with me as friends. And my house is your house. I'm going to get a house in Miami, Mexico, have a house here, Colombia. I said, you guys can stay anytime because that's who I am as a person, but I have to come back again. And I will. It's just a fight, right? So I've been here before. I know how to overcome adversity. And I said, and that's one of the reasons I created another company, because the tech industry is kind of it hit its head. My money was made off of hiring software engineers for companies when they hire. Well, companies aren't hiring anymore. They're laying people off. So I'm out of business. I'm a service business, right? So I understand that, because when I made money, I was like, hey, man, don't worry about it. Can I borrow money? No, you can't borrow money. Here you go. Pay your rent. Figure it out. What are you doing to change the lack of revenue that you have? So I understand that.
Yeah.
That's good stuff, man.
Thanks.
Any other advice for guys out there that are trying to date that have money?
That have money or
Yeah,
don't have money?
That have money.
I mean, if you have money, one of the things that I find these days with guys that I think is very wrong, and it wasn't like that years ago. It's become like very strange lately. I find that they just lie to women so much from what they used to be like 20 years ago. Like they're just compulsive liars these days.
Do you know why? Do you know why they do
get
that?
What's going on?
It's the lack of resources.
No, I think it's different.
I know
think it's the competition with what you're competing with. There's this guy lying to this girl, telling her owns this. You know, he works in the bathroom, but then he's like the engineer, the bathroom engineer. He reworks his job, and then he tells her he's making maybe 50 grand a year. He says, I'm making $500,000 a year. Their lies are like so big now. And then there's this other guy. He can't get girls because he's competing with the bathroom guy, not knowing that he's actually probably making more money than this other guy, but he's really not. And then what happens is he has to up his game by lying even more, and then the other guy lies even more. It's come to a point where like everybody's a billionaire now. Everybody has a fucking business. Nobody works for anyone. I've never seen a guy that says I work for anyone. Everyone owns a business. Everybody runs something. Everybody's successful in one way. Everyone's launching some new idea. Well, so you know, it's
but
oh man, I didn't mean it.
No, but
it's nothing. I'm talking in general,
but,
and I just feel that people should just be themselves. Come back to reality, man.
I agree, but I'm telling you, man, this society has just painted this picture for guys that don't have the access. They feel. I'll tell you, there's two things.
It's a social media, man.
And if a guy meets a guy like her,
yeah,
most men don't get girls like this. Now keep in mind, not me.
But why not?
Because they don't have the ability, the resources,
but if a
the skill set.
Didn't have to have money I guarantee you, if you're a funny dude,
I believe it.
You go out with her and show her a good time with maybe $200 in your pocket, she will like you.
See, do I get any money? No, I'm just kidding.
But
hear me out.
Like you have to have 20 grand. You just have to have enough.
I know
able to have like
but
a good time.
Hear me out. I dated girls that look like this, but most guys haven't. And so when they find somebody like this, it's like, oh my God, I gotta impress her. They feel like they have to impress her. They feel like it because I don't want to say this in any way. You're kind of desensitized to it. You're over here. Everybody's down here. You're a shark. I'm not, they've never experienced what it's like in the open ocean. And once you've had a taste of it, you're like, I don't gotta lie.
I don't.
You don't. I don't either. I don't. But here, you guys understand where I'm coming from. And I'm not saying he's wrong. I get it. But I'm just telling you, they've never. That's why the strip clubs are so busy. I'm not saying you're a stripper. That's why the strip clubs are so busy. That's why they're paying. That's why. Don't get me wrong. I love going there. I still, hey, let's go. She's like, let's go. But the point is that most guys have never had that level of looks.
No, I know, but it's just.
And so they're like, hey, I own a
now
business.
They meet a girl, but you think it's right. They meet a girl.
I don't think it's right.
5 minutes, they go, I'll buy you a purse. For what?
For what?
You think she's going to like you? Do you think you buying her a purse or sending her $500 or giving her $1,000? Do you think that girl likes you? No, she's just taking you as a trick and using you.
Right.
That she doesn't like you.
No, she doesn't like you.
She's just using you. So now you're giving this girl money. Okay, maybe she'll fuck you, but so what?
I used to tell girls
she'll never respect you.
She's like, oh, did I said, no, I only like girls who like other girls. I used to say that. And then I tell a girl, now I was lying in this part. Say, I got 2 girlfriends. Oh, you're a player. No, they know about each other. because I didn't have two. I just said that I was trying to repel attractive women because I didn't need them. If they wanted to be with me, fine. But I wasn't trying to chase them and say, "Oh, I got all this. Here's my new iPhone titanium and my, my Bugatti." I didn't do that. I just like, you know what? Here it is. And I need. No, I'm going to date other women.
Yeah.
And if they didn't like it, oh well, because I've had the taste of it.
I think guys don't understand that a woman will never respect you for what you give them, but rather for what you have.
Say that again. Say that again. Make sure you get this minute mark, okay?
I believe women will never genuinely respect you for what you give them, but rather respect you for what you have and who you are as a person. That's what they respect you for. They will never, ever respect you just because you're handing them things. They're going to treat you like a trick, and you will forever be a trick to them. They will never genuinely respect you. So the more you just throw things at girls, the more you're going into the trick zone. And once you're in the trick zone, you'll never come out of it. You will always be a trick to them.
And you'll never be respected.
You'll never be respected.
So in closing, this is good stuff. Thank you. What's one thing that men want from women? Is it respect and peace?
Listen, you could
respect and peace.
I'll ask you. You have a girlfriend right now?
Yeah.
Okay. Why do you like her?
I like her because she respects me and she gives me peace.
Okay.
And she fills my void. That's the soft answer.
There's
The sex is phenomenal.
Okay, so we're back at sex.
Yeah.
What if she wasn't good at sex? Will you be with her if she was the nice girl?
Well, when I met her, she wasn't exceptionally great because she hadn't been with that many guys, but now she's awesome.
Right. But now let's say you take the sex away. Let's say she went down and it was horrible. She had teeth and everything. Would you still be with her?
Damn, he said teeth and everything. No.
I mean, no. So sex.
No.
So then we're back at what I said.
Sex. Yeah.
So the key to I'm telling you, all girls who are listening, if you want to keep a man, up your blowjob game. I'm telling you, you can have all the money in the world as a woman. Nothing will help you keep a man better than sexually satisfying him. Nothing. If that man is hooked on you sexually, he will forever do whatever you want. Forever. Nothing else. You could be the smartest girl in the world. I've met the smartest, the brightest, the prettiest. So what? If they don't good. They're not good.
I've been there. I'm like, oh my, this girl's horrible.
Yeah, horrible.
Oh my God, I got to get rid of her.
Do you really think I want a smart girl? What do I need a smart girl for? So what? So you do calculations for me, do my math, do my accounting. What do I need a smart girl for? Actually, I don't want them too smart.
Right.
I don't want one that's one step ahead of me.
No, because they want somebody smarter than them, stronger than them, brighter than them, makes more money than them.
I want someone. I want to be the balloon, and I want my string, and I want to go up with that. I'm happy with that.
And then, okay, that was good advice for women. Now, what's some good advice in closing for men?
For men,
send
when
this
you
off.
meet a woman, I believe that you should like them for not the good times you have, but rather the bad times you have, and how she reacts to the bad times rather than how she reacts to the good times. So if you end up marrying a woman, fight with her. See how the ending of that fight.
Oh, that's good.
Okay.
I'm gonna go home and fight.
If the fight went well, that's the one you want to be with.
Right.
If the fight went bad, that's the one you don't want to be.
What's a bad fight?
Well, when they are, they're using ego, pride, they just like a cat, run away,
throwing phones.
Any sort of a bad fight. A good fight is someone that's understanding, listens to you, ends the fight in a good way with some sort of a resolution. But when you have a woman that you're with that gives you no resolution, she's just looking to fight with you in a bad way, everything ends up in I hate to use that word toxic because that's like the new word.
That's a girl's new word.
It's a new word. Toxic and narcissist. They don't even know what narcissist is.
Right.
Go, what is a narcissist? It's a guy that's
or a misogynist.
Yeah. Like, what the fuck? You don't even know what it is.
No.
No. Every guy I think is a narcissist. If you really describe every man, like
if they're a successful guy,
they're a narcissist.
They're a narcissist. Yeah.
Like, what the fuck are you talking about? You don't even know what it is, right? So they just say it. But anyways, I think, fighting with a woman is, and gives you the opportunity to get to know them.
Mhm. Good stuff, man. I like it. Thank you.
And that makes it easy for you to determine if that's someone you could last with for a long time or not.
That's
You want to be with a woman for a long time. It should be more of a partnership. It's there's no difference than going in and opening a business with someone. I've had successful businesses with guys who, I looked at it like a marriage, and I've had unsuccessful ones with ones that I knew wasn't going to go well, but I was so desperate in trying to make that business work that I kept the guy, and at the end I ended up losing the business. So it's the same thing with a marriage. Sometimes you get involved with a woman and you're desperately seeking to hold on to that good sex that you had with her and the good times that you had with her, and you end up involved in a relationship that's going to end up bad at the end anyways and breaking up. So
wow, man. Thanks for coming out. This was good. I'm glad I had him out here. Next time we got to get you on the show with him. Okay. And a bunch of other people.
yes.
No, thanks, Tony. I appreciate it. I learned a lot. Thanks for giving us a send off. Thanks for all the information. I enjoyed it. I would love to get on your podcast out in LA next time we go to LA or Orange County.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Studio. It's in Hollywood only, right?
I have one in Hollywood Hills, and I also have one in Orange County, Newport.
Okay. We're definitely going to bring the crew. We'll have to come out there.
Absolutely.
Right on.
Welcome anytime.
Well, hey, thanks for joining us at Red One Studios, Black Ice Reality Check, the only red pill podcast in Vegas where the truth will set you free. Stay strong, and we'll see you soon. Right on, brother. That was good, man. That was good. That was easy. I'm sorry. My eye was like,